What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Real GP Series Zerker Edition. In this episode, we are going to be checking out the normal Nechryaels that reside in the Slayer Tower and how much you can make per hour on your mid-level account. Before we get into this video's content, if you like seeing PVM and bossing guides and other money-making methods, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and turn on that little bell icon. The bell icon will let you know whenever I upload new content or when I go live. Alright, so first thing we are going to get into. If you're going to go camp the Nechryaels, you might want to know a little bit about them. How strong are these guys? Well, they have a hit points level of 105, attack and strength of 97, and a defense level of 105. Now, 97 attack and strength, that is a pretty hefty level, especially when you're going to be fighting them on your mid-level account. So if you have one of those lower defenses, I would say below 70, you're probably going to want to use prayer and protect from melee, but we'll check that out with the gear setup in just a little bit. As for their defensive stats, plus 22 stab, slash, crush, and range, so you're going to hit just as good with pretty much anything, whatever has the higher bonuses as for the weapon that you'll be using. Now, I do want to note here, these are a demon class NPC, so the arc light will work here. If you have an arc light and you have charges to spare, I would suggest using it here. As for the normal Nechryaels drop table, it's honestly not that bad. The average Nechryael kill is worth 4,494.9 GP at the time that I made this video. As for their drops, there are a lot of alchable items. Adamant plate legs, rune 2H swords, rune full helms, adamant kite shields, and even the rune boots, which do alch for more than their current cost on the Grand Exchange plus a nature rune, so you might as well alch them while you're there. They also do drop some runes, which will add up over time, chaos, deaths, laws, and bloods. The seed table is actually pretty nice as well. When you do roll the seed table, you will get 2 seeds at a time. Snapdragons are 1 in 152 and the Torsal is 1 in 760, but if you stay here long enough, you will see quite a bit of those. The Nechryaels also do have a few cash drops there, anywhere between 1,000 and 5,000 GP. You can also hit that 500 to 999, but more often than not, you're going to see somewhere between 1 and 5,000 GP. They also do drop 25 noted soft clay, which stacks over time, and tuna just in case you need to heal up. As for my chosen gear and inventory setup, I will be going with the Berserker helmet, but if you're on a Slayer task, obviously you will want to use a black mask or a Slayer helmet. Fire cape, amulet of fury, a Bandos blessing, but any blessing will do. My weapon of choice is the arc light, as I mentioned earlier, because I have a ton of shards laying around, so I do want to get the most DPS as I possibly can. My offhand is going to be a rune defender because this is a Zerker account, proselyte plate body and plate legs, Barrow's gloves, rune boots, and a Berserker's ring eye. Over in my inventory, I have 2 super combat potions, although I am using protect from melee, so if you want to swap that out for super attack and strength, by all means you can. I'm just a little bit lazy, so I just brought 2 super combat potions, 12 prayer potions, and 6 sharks. The Nechryaels do spawn death spawns, and although you are going to be protecting from melee, the death spawns will ignore that, and they will hit you for 1s and 2s throughout the duration, and they do hit a little consistently on a mid-level account like this, so you're going to want to bring some food to heal up. I also have the Slayer helmet because in the Slayer Tower, you will have to run through the Aberrant Spectres, so don't want to be getting your stats drained or losing any HP as you're running through. I'm using a Slayer ring, which will teleport me there for faster trips, 20 house teleport tabs, and just a stack to get myself out. And in my rune pouch, I have nature and fire runes for the alchemies to alch whatever I get for drops. So now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, we can actually get into the statistics of this video. So I spent the normal amount of time for these videos here. 20 hours is what I spent camping the normal Nechryaels. Through that 20 hours, I managed to get 2,511 kills, which ended up averaging me about 125.55 kills per hour. So not that bad. With the arc light, you are going to be doing a good amount more DPS because they are a demon class NPC. So like I said earlier, if you have one and can spare the charges, definitely suggest using it here. So after spending the 20 hours here, I ended up pulling in a cash pile of just over 6.7 million, and that was from all the coin drops and the alchables that I picked up along the way. 5,735 chaos runes, 1930 deaths, 1,412 bloods, 3,340 law runes, which was a little surprising. I didn't think I'd get that many of those. 39 snapegrass seeds, 30 snapdragon seeds, 8 torsals, and 2,500 soft clay. Total guide price by the time I was done, my gross value is 11,197,551 GP. Now, as usual, I did keep track of the supplies so we can figure out exactly how much profit you can make on your mid-level account. My supplies ended up running me 1.96 million GP, and it's a little higher than usual when I'm playing melee because I had to throw those sharks in there to eat up with the death spawns. So with the supply cost deducted, I ended up profiting 9.24 million an hour, which gave me 462,000 GP per hour. Really not that bad for a mid-level account that is not really used for bossing. But of course, that is not all. I also kept track of the experience rates as usual. Like I said, my weapon of choice was the Arclight. My total experience was 1,054,620 strength XP, which averaged me 52,731 per hour. Not that bad considering I wasn't on a Slayer task. So as for my final thoughts on camping the Nechryaels for 20 hours, the good, this is actually not a bad place to train your attacker's strength. 52,000 XP is nothing to turn up your nose at, and I can say that you can do this elsewhere. You can probably get more experience per hour in the Nightmare Zone, which I'm actually almost positive you can, but you're not making any money in the Nightmare Zone. So if you wanted to take a little hit on the XP per hour while still making some money, the Nechryaels wouldn't be that bad of a choice for a mid-level account, especially if you're not really into the bossing scene yet. You can pull out, a bond here in several hours. So if you're looking for a bond and you might have 80 Slayer, well, this might not be a bad place to do it. As for the bad, well, if you're not using an Arclight, obviously your DPS is going to suffer, so you might expect a little bit less XP per hour and a little bit less income per hour if you are not using that Arclight weapon. I will also say this, if you don't have access to a Slayer ring, your GP per hour is also going to suffer because you will be banking, and it is a pretty good run back here, no matter which way you decide to come back, whether it be the Fairy Ring or the teleport into the Canifis Tavern. One more thing that might be a little bit unappealing about the Nechryaels, they are not aggressive, so you will have to attack every single one that you want to kill while you're here, unlike the Gargoyles. Like, Gargoyles are aggressive, so you can actually AFK that very easily. I would say the Nechryaels are only semi-AFK because you will have to attack them, and then you can let it go for about 30 seconds before you have to pick up your loot and get on another one. All right, everybody, that is going to wrap up this episode of the Real GP series featuring the Nechryaels. I hope that you have enjoyed the video, and I hope if you have a mid-level account, maybe this can point you in the right direction of a new monster to camp if you're not into the bossing scene. So if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up down below. They really do help the video's popularity. And if you haven't done so yet, please tap that subscribe button on your way out. I really appreciate all the support that you guys give me, and it makes me glad to see any kind of comments. I do love responding to the comments. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll try to get to everything that I can. With that, I will see you guys on the next video. Take it easy, everybody.